This is your sign to start your daily habits, whether it's adding new ones or removing bad ones to have a new way of being. Come with me today and listen to this podcast with me, The Woman Pod with Valerie Atkinson. So I really wanted to get deep with this one because I think all of us typically are used to comfort, and that was me. I was constantly going in circles, didn't have any organization, didn't have any motivation, didn't have any accountability within myself. So I really got into this way of just being that person for such a long time. So you know how they say you got to become a new version of yourself? There's things that you're going to have to break free from. And some of these things are things that are transcended from past, your childhood, how you were raised, past relationships, things that you used to do, right? And you don't catch yourself until stuff starts to feel like a burden and you start to feel some type of way about yourself. Of course, there's more deeper meaning into it, but until you learn about what you want and need, it's going to make a huge difference. And for me, it had to start with habits because I was ruining my life for creating unhealthy habits that just got me nowhere. Waking up with no motivations is perfect start. I had no sense of self and I wasn't happy. I really was. I wasn't happy with the person I was reflecting on in the mirror. I kept adding and adding on things to her that just didn't resonate with me whatsoever. Like the way that I looked, the way that I styled my hair, the things that I did just to please others versus myself, which is not a good thing. So if you're in that situation right now, I'm here to tell you, I'm grateful that you came into the podcast, especially today, because I want to be sharing a lot of these things with you as to why I started to gain more balance with who I am today and who I'm becoming now. So I'm going to be sharing, I was probably since COVID 2020, I was going through a whole lot. I had just gone through my divorce right then, pre-COVID, literally pre-COVID. Then the government shut down. It was just one of those things where everybody kind of just secluded themselves. Nobody was talking, no social life. It was just weird, right? Like it was like a little depressing. On top of the depression of me getting divorced, like it was just a thing of like, wow, like why is this all happening to me? And you don't really think about it at that moment because you're just in such a destructive, chaotic thing going on. Life is happening outside of your life. Life's happening. And it was just all coming in together. And I had no sense of drive at that point, going through the divorce and being shut down and then having to go to work remote. Boy, was that the big one for me. I'm sure if you resonate with me, you know what I'm talking about, remote working. Let's be honest, it's nice. We don't have to get up and do the crazy stuff that we used to do. But majority of those things changed for me when I had my little one, right? I had my 1-year-old now. She's my daughter. All of that shifted when she came into the picture. And of course, I was already, I had a habit. I had an organization with my 11-year-old and my 6-year-old. And of course, that was my life. And it was just easier for me because I was already in a routine, but that routine just wasn't going to work for me now. And I kept constantly repeating the same thing over and over. I would wake up feeling like crap. I would look at myself in the mirror like I just didn't want to do anything about it. I would stay in my PJs overnight from the following night, right? The night before, I apologize. And just like not wanting to brush my teeth, not wanting to wash my face because I was like, well, I already showered last night. Like that's enough. Like I don't have to redo all of that. And I was just being lazy. Like, I'll be honest with you. I was being lazy. I was not happy with who I was. And I just had no motivation whatsoever. And I was just really stuck in a funk of depression. Yeah, let's call it that, the funky donkey. And then I said, you know what? Like, I really need to stop doing this. Of course, you want to be able to be aware of what you're doing. Sometimes it's so comforting because that's all you know and you don't know anything better, or maybe you just don't have a friend that can tell you what they're doing, or maybe just the people around you are in the same boat. You guys are basically reflecting off of each other at this point, right? So what I started doing, what I started implementing for me, I actually said, okay, what can I do better for myself so I'm not feeling overwhelmed, getting the kids ready, or especially my 1-year-olds now, like what can I do to better it for me so I'm in a good mood too for them, right? So I started shifting my alarm set to 5 a.m. and meditating right as soon as I wake up, whether it be a 15, 10-minute, 30-minute meditation. Gratitude. I would always say, thank you, God, for giving me the time to just be here today. Thankful for my kids, thankful for my home, thankful for all the unexpected blessings and the miracles and abundance that you keep pouring into my life, the new healthy relationships you keep pouring into my life. And I would go outside and look at the stars when I did this, guys. I know you probably think she's fucking crazy. Maybe I am, because I do believe that there's more than just us, right? I do believe that. But I do believe that the more in us that we do for us is the more we get, right? Because you're doing for yourself at this point. So after I joined a 21-day challenge with my safe space community, again, I would recommend you join with someone that can do it with you. This would be very great. I completed this challenge, and let me tell you, at first I was like, I don't want to be waking up every freaking day. The 21-day challenge, basically what it was is like you're going to listen to a meditation before waking up, or actually going outside first, doing the meditation, then doing the affirmations. I apologize. I did it backwards. And it felt weird at first because I was like, I never go outside first. I usually just wake up and meditate. Like, that's weird. I'm not kidding. So I was like, okay, fine, I'll do it. I stuck with it. I really did. It did help me significantly. In a sense of like me being anxious, I felt more at ease with myself. It just felt different. My body felt different. It started to feel some type of way. Felt more relaxing, I'm going to be honest. And I just kept doing it. And for some reason, once I finished this challenge, I got to the 21 days. Mind you, you're probably wondering, well, Val, did you have any hiccups? Yes, of course I did. Of course I had some hiccups. Throughout the way. But once I finished this 21-day challenge, I'm not going to lie, I wanted to do it the next day again and again and again. It just kept going. It's honestly, it came a routine for me, right? To where I planted a new seed. So it was like something that I planted in my mind, which was basically going along with the flow of life. So I was just doing it already. So after the 21-day challenge, obviously, yes, I'm proud of myself, thankful for myself, but I just kept being consistent, and it was accountability on my part, which I freaking love. And you're probably wondering, like, okay, so Val, why are you doing this? Like, why would you be doing something like this? Like, what is it going to do for you? Blah, 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 blah. Honestly, guys, if you want to become the next J-Lo, next whatever, go for it. But I'm going to tell you something. You're not going to be happy with that version because you're only wanting to do what others are doing based off what you think is best for you. So what I knew now was like, what the hell do I got to change and why? There was things about myself that I continuously planted a seed where I thought, I don't have to work hard enough. I don't have to do so much. Like, there's no reason for me to like continue doing one thing, always same. It just gave me a purpose. It really did. I'm going to be freaking honest with you. It gave me a purpose, a reason to start over for myself and to feel good about myself and be my own cheerleader, be overall accountable for my actions. Because at the end of the day, when you wake up, nobody's there to hold your hand, especially if you're an independent mama, single mama. Even if you're married, I'll be honest, like when I was married at some point, we never really like had a ritual or a way of waking up to one another. It was a mess. It was just something that I just don't recall like we ever like maybe the first stages was honeymoon type, like he would make my coffee, etc., which was lovely, but it's like there was a reason like that I needed to change myself because that Val was just not resonating with me no more. I was used to people catering to me, pleasing me, giving me everything I wanted. And it never really clicked into my head till I was alone. It really did. Like, honestly, that's when you learn to be your own lover and your own partner and best friend and your own self, right? Like, what do you love? Like, what is it that Val wants and needs right now? So because I had this plant, I was just like, you know what? Like, I'm ready for this change for myself. Like, I really am. Like, I'm getting really tired of the same shit all over again. I try the affirmations, which I did. I tried just affirmations, which they're good, but it honestly doesn't show until you do the inner work. And I've already talked about this on my last podcast, my last episode before this one. So check it out so you kind of get a grasp of what I'm talking about. But it just feels like the reason why was because I wanted to. It's because I chose to. So you really have to come in here with an open mind. Are you ready to commit to yourself? That's the question. If you answered yes, great. If you answered no, then jump off this podcast, because trust me, none of this is it's not gonna resonate with you. It's not gonna make you feel any better. Me talking about this is not gonna do shit to yourself. Until you want to make a change in yourself, that's when you're gonna start to adapt accountability. Like, honestly, that's the best thing you can do. So please sit down and take a piece of paper. I know if you're driving right now, you can't do it. Maybe it's going to come up in your head. Perfect. Remember that thought. What is not helping you right now? Whether that be you, whether that be you smoking in the morning, waking up looking at your cell phone, trying to respond to the first email, first text message, or first blah, 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 blah. Or you waking up just thinking anxiously, I'm not good enough. Today's going to be a terrible day. Like, change your way of saying things to yourself. Financial, the relationship you're in, the marriage that you're in. What do you want to change within yourself today? And I'll say today, because it's going to start today, y'all. Like, you can't come in here saying, like, Val, you're telling me all the good stuff, but it's got to start today. You can't, if you say tomorrow, you're never going to fucking do it. You're never going to do it. I'm sorry, but I'm here to call you out on your BS, because I had to call myself out. I continuously robbed myself from happiness. You heard me. I robbed myself from that happiness. So I realized how staying in my PJs from the night before, not brushing my hair or washing my face, doing any skincare, I was just so freaking unhappy with myself, unmotivated, severely depressed from the inside and the outside with myself. I chose comfort of being comfortable. Working remotely is heaven. Everybody wants a remote job. Nobody wants to go into the office, deal with the peers or deal with their boss, blah, 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 blah. It's lovely, isn't it? But only dressing up for the gym was my only motivation at this point. Did you hear that? The only motivation for me from that day when I was like in this stage of my life was I couldn't wait to sign the F off and just get ready for the gym and like just go. Mind you, with all of this going on, of course, my schedule's changed. I couldn't go early in the morning like I would love to go into the gym. So I had to do something different so I can make sure that I stay in that frequency from the morning that I got up until the end of the day, or try to maintain it. Maintaining it is a challenge. I'm not going to lie to you. There's going to be things that are going to happen, but I think you need to be aware of what you don't want to continue happening. And of course, for me, I was more excited over this over my overall day, the beginning of my day, dropping the kids off and being stuck in traffic or not, like listening to music, like it just wasn't bringing the joy anymore. It really wasn't, y'all. Like even the freaking workout was worthless at this point. Yes, a lot of people were telling me you look great, but I just didn't feel great inside. I'm going to be real with you. Like, it's so authentic. You need to be real with yourself, because if you're not real from the beginning, you want to jump from A to B, but from B to C, that ain't going to work out. It's just going to leave you dragging like an empty space of yourself. Just like, why do I feel this way? I just told you why I did it, because I just didn't feel the need to do it in the morning. And I was like, yeah, this got to change. This got to change. There's no way that I can have the motivation for the evening and then for it to just sit there and do nothing. Right? And let's be honest, sometimes doing nothing is the best thing. I'm gonna be real with you. I've gotten really used to that. But I have to get uncomfortable now because it's been too comforting. So what were the simple daily habits for me? I honestly, I'm going to say, get consistent with the timing. Put an alarm. It might take 3 alarm snoozes for you to start, or maybe even more. But the minute that you start, you may not even need your snooze on your alarm. You're going to start waking up without it. I'm telling you, I wake up every freaking weekend. I am like, fuck, like the weekend that I want to sleep in, I just don't want to get up. But that's my body. It already has a habit. It's a seed that's planted. Just like when you record a song, right? You record a song, you're on a set, and that's it. You start from that moment, and it just goes on until you end the song, right? So that's the thing. Like, there's no breaks throughout this process, y'all. So just make sure you get a consistent timing, whether that be 4 a.m., 5 a.m., 6 a.m., whichever time of the day. Just know which one works best for you, okay? And I'm not saying my 5 a.m. is going to be best for you. I chose 5 a.m. because I want to be honest with myself. Let's start there, right? And so far, it's been doing good for me, even on the weekends. So I did that. Meditation has helped me significantly within these past months. Honestly, if I don't meditate, I feel like crap. I really do. I feel like crap. I feel anxious. And even when I feel anxious, I meditate and I do deep breathings. I do feel like this all has to do with me like being stuck on autopilot, right? So I need to learn to slow it down, find something that, you know what I also realized, like when I started with this alarm thing, it would freak me the F out. Like I would get really like anxious because I was scared about the alarm, and I was like, okay, I need to change my alarm settings. Like this alarm is just freaking me the F out. Like I'm getting triggered. Like I should not be getting triggered at 5 a.m. in this morning. No, sir. No, ma'am. So I said, let's change it to something else. I changed the beat because that also like helped me too. I was like, Jesus Christ, like I don't want to be waking up every morning like this. Like this is insane. And I am sure you're probably wondering, like, that's probably why you don't do it, because you don't find a solution. So find something. I sit in gratitude. I stand outside. I look up at the sky and I give thanks for everything that I do have. I check in with myself. I take a multivitamin. It's already a habit. As soon as I get my coffee, it's right above the freaking like, what is it? There's like a right above my coffee station. I have like the, right there, the counters there. I have a section where I can put my vitamins in and my medicine. So I have it there just because I know it's there. I can do it. So now it's a daily habit for me. I do it. I don't forget because I already know I got to grab this and then I got to do my coffee. And then once I do that, I come back upstairs and I shower. I get ready. The kids are still asleep, mind you. They're still knocked out. Baby's even knocked out at this point. And then I do my skincare, I get dressed, I figure out what I'm going to wear for the day, what mood I'm feeling, what vibe I'm feeling, whether I do gym clothes or whether I do a dress of day, like if I want to feel like wearing a dress today, even though no one's going to see it, I'm going to do it for me. And just a little bit of hairdo. I kind of chopped off all of my hair, to be honest with you. I was getting real tired of blow drying it. So I was like, what hairstyle can do for me? And honestly, I kept listening to everybody else, like, don't cut your hair, don't dye your hair, blah, blah, blah. You know what? Stop listening to people. Stop listening to people and start listening for yourself and start doing for yourself. Because this is when I realized, like, I'm only stuck because I chose to be stuck. And I just need to stop. Like, there's no way I'm going to get around it. So now I have a smaller hair. I have like a pixie bob cut so I can blow dry it and flat iron it like that, like within minutes. Thank you, God. And so once I do that, I feel good. I feel good that I go get the kids ready. I get everything organized. I'm just like ready to go. The kids are in a good mood. I mean, there's days where my little one, my son, my 6-year-old's like in a grunchy mood. I'm like, this is why I feed the kids at 7 p.m. and I make sure that they all go. Well, actually, at 8, I make sure that the little one goes to bed by bed at that point. The older two at 9 p.m., that's my cutoff time. So that's only that time. I kind of want to get them to 8:30 at the max, but I haven't even started that. But I'll come back on here for the second series on this episode to see how I went about it. Maybe I should start doing that. I'm going to start doing that and we'll talk about it next time. Anyways, gym. Get consistent with it, y'all. Gym is so good. Honestly, it's been good. I was getting consistent, but I hurt my leg not too long ago. So I took a break from the gym. It felt like shit because I felt like I gave up on myself. But I had to stop judging myself. I literally critiqued myself for so much because I was like, oh man, I'm not going to the gym. I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to lose definition. I'm going to look skinny again. Because I was really hard on myself. And I know this is something that's inside of me, which is an inner conflict of myself. Like, I feel like the need that I have to prove to people that I need to look a certain way, but I'm just tired. I gave up. I say, you know what? I'm going to sleep it off. I'm going to lay down. I'm going to enjoy myself. Be more with the kids. What else, right? So I'm actually going to go today after recording this podcast because I was like, okay, it's time to start again. I feel better. I don't feel the pain like I was feeling it the last week and a half. So I'm giving myself the chance and the opportunity. Journaling. Oh my God, guys. Let me talk about journaling. Journaling is so good for the soul. I'm going to say journaling has helped me figure out what I need and what I want and what I don't want. I know we all want friends. I know we all want to talk about our stuff and things, but sometimes it's better not to. Sometimes when we tell people our problems, it only creates problems. So the best thing for you to find a solution so it doesn't get to that point, just reflect. Is it something that you're not happy with yourself, or is it something that you didn't like about the other person? Because this is when you start setting boundaries and respect for yourself. So make sure you journal. Make sure there's things that you would like, dreams, goals, motivation. Start a daily journal. Like, what do you do on a day? And go back 30 days from that day forward and go read what you were doing and see what you see inside of you. Like, damn, I was really going through it, right? And then cutting out the sodas. I stopped cutting out. This is a new habit that I've engaged the last 2 weeks. Ever since I got hurt, I stopped. So I give myself grace on the weekends, one day out of the weekend, to have one soda. And that could be Sprite or Coke Zero. That's it. I was addicted to Dr. Pepper. I was starting to get addicted to that shit. And I was like, I cannot do it anymore. It tastes good, but I can't do it. That's too much sugar. My body don't need the sugar right now. On top of that, like, I'm trying to be healthy, right? So a budget planner. This is my last one. I know I had a lot, but because these are habits that I started implementing. And again, these might not be as much as the ones that you have on yourself. There's tons of other habits that you can, like, grasp from. So the budget planner. Wow. Let me tell you about this budget planner that I created, guys. I went to the Dollar Tree, got myself a little notebook, planned out my monthly for the next 3 months before Christmas. You heard me, because they didn't have a calendar for the 24. They're already coming out with the 2025. So I was like, okay, but we need to buy a planner. So what I did was I put in all my income, my incoming expenses, outgoing expenses on top of the other income, right? So what I was doing is like, okay, what do I need to pay off? What do I need to save money for? Where does the money go to? How can I get accountable? I'm going to tell you right now, write things down, y'all. Write how much you make and how much you would like to save and how much you use for expenses as far as groceries, utilities, and outings, and your self-care. Make sure you add your self-care. If you're a woman, you need your stuff, okay? Don't give up on yourself. Don't do that to yourself. Give yourself grace. You do deserve that skincare. You do deserve those nails. You do deserve that hair. You do deserve the nice, like, things that you need to take care of yourself. Come on now, like, there's no way, if you don't care for yourself, that you're not going to nurture yourself. Okay? So just get what works for you. I'm not saying that one product's going to help. You might have to try a few products. That happened to me. Some caused me to break out because my skin's so sensitive. So I had to work with products on a continuous. And don't get angry at these changes, because honestly, this is going to get uncomfortable for you to find the right product. And the budget planner, I know I went off topic there. Jesus Christ. So the budget planner, let's get back to it. I paid off a credit card. So I have 2 credit cards that I want to pay off before Christmas, because I was like, no, Val, we got to get it together. We got to buy gifts. My birthday's coming up. I want to travel. I want to save for a trip. Like, I really want to get these things done. Like, I really want to travel next year. I didn't get a chance to because I had the baby. And it was just really rough. It was a rough year. I lost my dad, November. So this November is going to be actually a year from his passing. So it was a lot going on, going through a breakup. It was just a lot. So this budget planner has helped me so much that I feel so good about myself now. Like, I don't depend on me worrying about what am I going to pay next. What I did and what I think should be something every woman should do. Sign up for that auto pay, ladies. Like, don't sacrifice yourself to having a login, because there was days where I wouldn't know and I forgot and I'd be mad at myself because I have a past due payment. Like, don't do that to yourself. That's showing you don't care about yourself. Even if you don't got the funds, find a way. There's always a way, y'all. Like, if you can pay half of it 1 week, then do so. Get ready with yourself. If you don't make a change, then that money is going to treat you like the way you're treating itself. You heard that? Yeah, exactly. Treat it like your best friend. It takes care of you. You take care of it. Everything's taken care of. All right. So let's get back to reality now. So you're probably wondering, challenges? Yes, possibly. But I'm going to tell you the real truth here. There's going to be challenges. The only thing is, I can tell you from experience, because it's happened to me. There was days that I didn't feel like getting up. There was days that I didn't feel like hitting the snooze alarm. There was days where I would meditate here and there. But find something that works for you. I'm not saying you have to be 100% consistent, but find something and don't judge yourself. This was one thing I was really hard on myself. So I realized like I wasn't giving myself the grace. Like I was just like mad at myself the whole entire day. So instead of me saying, okay, I woke up this morning, I didn't meditate, but that's okay. Tomorrow is the next day. Instead, Val would implant in her head, oh my God, I didn't meditate. It's not going to be a good day. No, do not do that. Let me repeat, do not do that. Don't judge yourself. Like you are doing what you can right now and it takes practice, okay? That's funny. I just see butterflies right here outside my window. Transformation. You got to love it, you guys. You got to love it. It's a season. Remember, it's a season. So I'm going to tell you, practice it over and over again until you finally find the one that works best for you. I'm not saying my routine's going to work for you. You're going to have to find your own routine. Yeah. And I talk about habits because, I mean, I could have gone through all the habits, but I just went with the most decent one that I think for me was learning to just take that time for myself, right? Find an accountability partner, a friend who wants to do this with you. 21 days, 30 days, you can name it whatever, but I would say 21 to 30 days is probably going to be gradual. And join a group. If there's a seminar or something like that, join that. Get into it, y'all. Like, it doesn't hurt to try. And I'm going to say the one book that helps me a lot was Badass Habits by Jen Sincero. She's got a book out there. She got several books, actually. So I would recommend you read her book. Even get an audiobook. If you cannot commit to flipping a page, then get an audiobook. You can drive and hear a book, for God's sakes. You don't have to be listening to Cardi B and the next song, like sometimes, honestly, like it's crazy, but I don't even listen to music like I used to before. I actually put on a book or a podcast while I'm driving because that's just a motivation thing for me. Like it just drives me to like be a better person each day. Because I'm not saying what I'm doing now is not the best, but sometimes you have to hear a person who's also doing better so you can become better. I'm not saying that I'm not the best, but I'm saying I'm trying to be better. And that's the best thing about it is just be better. Be better. Like there's nothing you could have done. Like honestly, don't put yourself in a spot where you think that you have to be like a certain person. Just be better. Just be better. That's all. Just be better. Better. I know that sounded kind of weird. I'm sorry. My little Spanish and English is correlating here. So the importance here of starting to maintain new habits in your life. Pick one that works for you. Start today. Find the one thing that is just not working out for you, babe. Whether it's waking up early or you're not doing what you should be doing in the morning. You pick one habit today that you were thinking about as you were possibly driving, listening to my podcast, or you were at work, listening to my podcast, whatever it was. What stuck out to you? Write it down. And I want you to get deep with this habit. Why do you do it? That way you can get clarity about why you do it and why you want to change it to be better. Okay? Because that's going to help you so much. You're going to be like, wow, I didn't know that about myself. Like for real. And then invite people to join you on this because honestly, it's like the best thing to have someone to help you also like achieve that goal. It doesn't matter if you guys are doing the same thing. That person could be, maybe they want to pay their credit card every day the same time, or I don't know, just pick something. And that is it for today, guys. I appreciate every single one of you for coming in today and listening to my podcast. I hope that this guided you and helped you in so many ways because I know it's helped me. I've helped myself, and I just want to share the knowledge that I have with you guys. And I am welcome to any feedback, any stories from you guys as far as sharing your habits. I would love to hear your thoughts on that and what you've gained from this podcast. And then again, I will probably come in the next 30 days. I'm gonna count myself accountable that starting today, I'm going to put those kids to bed at 8:30. Well, obviously my little one still goes at 8, but 8:30 for the other two, and minimize the chaos because I want a peaceful life. And if I can give it to myself, and if I could just make one modification on my life, that's all it got to be, y'all. I don't even got to do anything more. Anyways, guys, thank you again from the bottom of my heart. Again, with the woman part here with me, Valerie Atkinson. You guys have an amazing rest of your week and be great and be better. Love you guys.